There's a phenomenon in aviation called controlled flight into terrain. Imagine this, a commuter plane, somewhere over mountainous terrain, clear skies, broad daylight, experienced crew, and the plane flies directly into a mountain. Not because of mechanical failure, not because of bad weather, not because the pilots weren't capable, but because their attention, all of it, was fixated on the instruments, locked into what the data was telling them. While the mountain, visible, real, right there in plain sight, never entered their awareness. And they flew into it anyway. Now, I came across this story in an unexpected place. I was sitting in the public gallery of a courtroom, just as a visitor and observer, watching a murder case unfold, as you do, but nothing to do with me, thankfully. In this case, a forensic professor, to illustrate something about how we see, was giving expert testimony. And as part of the testimony, he described this pattern of human attention. Now, whether it was one specific incident or a composite of several, the pattern is real. It's documented and studied. And as I was sitting there, it occurred to me that this is not an aviation problem. It's a human one. And the world we are navigating right now, has never produced more instruments, more data, dashboards, metrics, strategies, news cycles, and competing demand. And all of it feeding information, all of it asking for a response. And even the best of us, the most capable, the most experienced, the most conscientious, are at risk of this. And not because we aren't skilled at reading instruments, but because we have spent a lifetime becoming very good at it. And the instruments have never been louder. So here's something worth sitting with. Beneath the capability, beneath the composure, beneath the experience and track record, there tends to be a question quietly running everything. What's the right move here? What am I not seeing? How do I keep this together? How do I stay ahead of what's coming? And beneath all of those, perhaps the most honest question of all, am I enough for what this moment requires? These are the questions of someone navigating life from the outside in, always looking out there for the answer. And they are so familiar, so constantly present, they stop feeling like questions at all. They become the water, we swim in. And from inside that orientation, we are like those pilots, heads down, instrument focused, and highly capable, but at risk of missing the terrain entirely. Because here's what the instruments cannot show you. What we are reaching for is not a better answer to those questions. It's a different answer or question entirely. Not how to navigate life, but how life works. So what we are reaching for is up and in to a quality of intelligence that the instruments were never, designed to access. Think of it this way. Life can feel like being caught in a storm or in a spinning wheel. The noise, the motion, the relentlessness of it. But in the center of the storm, there is stillness. In the center of the spinning wheel, there's a place that doesn't move, right in the middle of everything that is asking for your attention. Now, that is where we settle. That is where we become grounded. That is where the mind clears. And from that place, fresh thinking emerges. New understanding comes to light. See, insight arrives not from effort, but from the quality of the space itself. And from that place, you build. And everything you need, emerges from there naturally and clearly, and in a way that is genuinely yours. And this is what I mean by source over strategy. And this is what the conversations create the space for. A quality of thinking, a quality of seeing, and from which everything you need to build and what matters most emerges. That is the source. Everything else follows from there. So if something in that just got a little quieter, that is worth paying attention to. You will know if this is for you. You already do, and you know where to find me.